The lake house was supposed to be our escape, a quiet place filled with memories, early mornings on the dock, and late nights by the fire. When my wife told me she needed space and planned a weekend away, something in her voice felt rehearsed. Too calm. Too clean. I didn't confront her. I didn't argue. I simply watched. A single notification on our shared security app confirmed what I already suspected. The lake house was occupied. And she wasn't alone. Instead of rage, a strange clarity settled over me. If she thought she could rewrite our story in secret, she was wrong. I didn't rush. I didn't warn her. I started planning. I gathered names, timelines, quiet confirmations. And when I learned exactly who she had brought there, her affair partner, a man with a family of his own, I knew exposure would hurt more than any scream ever could. I didn't want revenge. I wanted truth, delivered publicly. The plan wasn't impulsive, it was precise. I found his wife's contact information easily. Social media makes secrets fragile. I didn't accuse. I didn't dramatize. I sent a simple message. I think your family deserves to know where he really is this weekend. I included the lake house address. Nothing more. Then I waited. The next morning, I arrived early and parked out of sight. The lake was calm, sunlight shimmering across the water, completely unaware of what was coming. My wife laughed on the deck, barefoot, carefree, believing she was untouchable in her little bubble of lies. Her affair partner wrapped an arm around her like he belonged there. I watched, not with anger, but with resolve. This wasn't about humiliating her, it was about ending the illusion. I knew timing mattered. When the car finally pulled into the driveway, loaded with a wife and 2 confused children, I took a slow breath. The truth had arrived. The moment the door opened, everything cracked. His wife stepped out first, scanning the house with confusion that quickly turned to dread. The kids followed, backpacks slung over their shoulders, smiling, until they saw their father on the deck with a woman who wasn't their mother. My wife's face drained of color. The laughter stopped instantly, replaced by a silence so heavy it felt physical. "What is this?" his wife asked, voice trembling but controlled. My wife tried to speak, but no sound came out. The affair partner froze, caught between instinct and terror. I stepped forward then, calm, visible, undeniable. That's when the shouting began. Questions, accusations, disbelief colliding all at once. The kids started crying. My wife reached for me instinctively, as if I could still protect her. I stepped back. This wasn't chaos I created. It was chaos born from lies finally meeting daylight. Everything unraveled fast. His wife demanded answers he couldn't give. My wife tried to explain things that made no sense outside secrecy. The lake house echoed with raised voices and broken trust. Neighbors peeked from their docks. Phones came out. The illusion of privacy vanished completely. I said very little. I didn't need to. The truth spoke louder than anything I could add. At one point, my wife whispered my name like a plea, realizing too late that I wasn't there to save her anymore. The affair partner's wife gathered her children, shaking with rage and heartbreak, telling him he would never step into their home again. My wife stood alone, exposed, the fantasy collapsing in real time. She had thought secrecy was safety. She had thought control was power. She was wrong. Watching consequences arrive uninvited is different from imagining them. It leaves no room to hide. When the shouting faded, what remained was devastation. His family drove away first, the children silent, staring out the windows. My wife sank onto the steps, head in her hands, finally understanding the cost of her choices. She looked up at me and asked, "How could you do this?" I didn't raise my voice. I simply said, "I didn't do this. You did. I just stopped protecting the lie." That was the moment she broke. Not because she was caught, but because the story she'd built was gone. No secret weekends. No rewritten reality. Just truth, raw and irreversible. I walked through the house one last time, touching the walls that once held hope, and realized I felt free. Not numb. Not empty. Free. Exposure hadn't destroyed me. It had released me from carrying a truth alone. That day became unforgettable, not because of the yelling or the tears, but because it ended something false forever. The lake house was sold. The marriage ended. And every person involved was forced to face consequences they never expected to arrive together. My wife lost the illusion of control. Her affair partner lost his family. And I lost the weight of silence. People later asked if I felt guilty for how it unfolded. I didn't. I felt honest. Lies thrive in darkness, but collapse instantly under light. I didn't need revenge. I needed closure. And I got it the moment the truth walked up that driveway unannounced. That day rewrote all our lives, but it gave me something I hadn't had in a long time. Peace. No one forgot what happened at that lake house. Especially not the ones who thought they'd never be caught.